Tomorrow I'm giving a talk at the Bitcoin Cash DevCon in San Francisco, which is the first of a series of hackathons being put together by Permissionless Ventures, which is a new sort of venture capital arm of Bitmain. And they're just putting together a series of Bitcoin Cash hackathons around the world, starting in San Francisco, and they're giving out prizes for people to develop apps on Bitcoin Cash. So I'm going to be talking about Money Button, and I'm going to give you guys a preview of what my talk tomorrow is going to be. So the way I'm going to start my talk tomorrow actually is I'm going to show this wonderful video from CoinSpice. I'll just give a link to this in the YouTube description. I'm not going to show it right now just because if you're watching this, you're probably watching it on YouTube. So you can just click the link, and I recommend watching the CoinSpice video first as a really, really great overview of what is Money Button in a really, really well-produced way. This was created by CoinSpice. They did a spectacular job. Thank you very much for making this wonderful video. Please start there if you don't know what Money Button is or if you haven't already seen it. So Money Button is a product that is owned by Yours Inc. Yours Inc. is the company that created yours.org. So we now have two products. We have yours.org and Money Button. Originally, the idea of Money Button was that we would extract the technology out of yours.org and make it available for any third-party websites and apps, which is basically what we did, except that we ended up rewriting everything pretty much from scratch. So Money Button is actually a brand new product that actually doesn't share really any of the technology with yours.org anymore. It's completely new. It's redesigned at every level. It's redesigned at a UI UX level, and it's redesigned at a software level. So it's a totally new product. So what is Money Button? Money Button is a API and a UI UX layer for the blockchain. So it is a way for developers to very easily interact with the primary money properties of Bitcoin Cash. And it also comes with a very, very user-friendly interface. So it's designed to be something that normal people can comfortably use. So the idea of Money Button is basically, well, if you look back at, you sort of go back in time to the 1990s when the internet was first commercialized, it was actually really hard to send payments on the internet. And there's this somewhat famous story of PayPal basically coming into existence to try to solve this problem. PayPal is, they have to some extent solved it with a bunch of issues that really what you need is you need some kind of native internet money in order to solve all the issues with PayPal. You really need some way to simply send money peer-to-peer the same way you send email peer-to-peer. And Bitcoin Cash actually makes that a reality. You can do exactly what you expect to be able to do using Bitcoin Cash. You can possess digital cash, and you can send it peer-to-peer with no intermediary. So this means that you have desirable properties like the payments are irreversible, no one can freeze your money, you possess your money, no one can inflate your money away. You have all these desirable properties, exactly what you'd expect internet money to have. And the idea of Money Button is basically to reduce the UI UX layer all the way down to something as simple as the Facebook like button. Just like how developers can copy and paste the Facebook like button onto a website, and it's very easy for users to simply click it on a website to like something, we're doing the same thing but for money. We're making it that easy to add a payments button to websites, and it's easy to add it, and it's easy to click, or rather swipe the button. So you can do a bunch of things with Money Button. I'm going to go over the different basic features of Money Button. So you can, not only can you send an amount, but you can actually access the multiple outputs of the transaction. So you can actually send to multiple different people at the same time. You can also do op return. So you can pass in op return data directly into Money Button, and then when you make a payment, that data is posted to op return with the transaction. You can also do scripts. So you can actually write custom op return scripts or anything else that you can put in the output of a transaction with Money Button. And so this lets you do things like actually you can do more advanced op return features. Unfortunately, you can't do everything with output scripts just because Bitcoin Cash itself is actually limited with what is allowed in the output scripts. But anything that is allowed, you can do with Money Button. You can customize the label, of course. You can pass whatever you want to into the label and customize the visual appearance of the button. You can do any currency. So we actually support every fiat currency and the top cryptocurrencies. So what you can do is, first of all, if you are creating a button, you can specify any currency that you want. So in this example, I'm showing British pounds. So you can specify anything you want in the button, but actually the way the button is displayed is actually displayed in the user preferred currency. So whatever currency the consumer prefers is how the button is displayed. So we seamlessly convert currencies continuously. So we basically let you use, either as a developer or as a consumer, whichever currency you prefer is how we denominate things in the app. So that's sort of an important property of Money Button, so that we don't, we basically allow people to feel comfortable with the values that they see in the button. And you don't necessarily know that you are using a cryptocurrency. Or if you prefer, you can actually denominate things in a different cryptocurrency. You can even denominate things in Ethereum if you want to, and see things in Ethereum, and it simulates actually sending Ethereum around. In fact, actually, if you do that with Money Button, the fees are actually lower with Money Button than it is with a real Ethereum transaction, actually. Okay, so you can also do callbacks. So this is necessary to basically respond to the payment. So when you have a payment in your app, you can respond to it right away and do anything, such as display content behind a paywall or whatever it is that you want to do with Money Button. We also support an auth system. So you can sign in with Money Button. This is important because it allows you to do all sorts of things involving tracking payments on your website or your app. So you can do things like, if the user signs in with Money Button, you can keep track of what they have paid for, so that when they come back again, you can show them the same content that they've already paid for. We also have server-side webhooks. These are somewhat similar to the client-side callbacks, but they have basically more features. There are some things that you can't do with the client-side webhooks that you ultimately need server-side webhooks. For instance, the client-side webhooks are only available when the client is actually open. So you can receive server-side webhooks anytime. So you can respond to events such as when a payment confirms. You can respond to it when that happens. Or if a payment is either double spent or malleated and you want to respond to it differently, you can do so using the server-side webhooks. We provide integrations to a number of common technologies. So first of all, the one that we use internally is everything's based on React. So we have a React plugin for Money Button. It's called React Money Button. You can find it on our GitHub page or our NPM page. You can also do pure HTML. So if you go to moneybutton.com and click config and make your own Money Button right there, you can easily make a new Money Button, and that gives you the HTML version of the Money Button. The HTML version is the easiest one to get started with because all you have to do is configure the button with the graphical interface and then copy and paste it into your HTML web page. We also have a pure JavaScript version. The HTML version is actually based on the JavaScript version, and you can use the JavaScript version to do things like dynamically update the buttons inside of your website. We also have other plugins that are in development. So we are committed to having a WordPress plugin. Something like 1/3 of the websites on the internet use WordPress, so we want to make it as easy as possible for WordPress website owners to add Money Button to their website. And we'll have other integrations in the future. So we're doing everything we can to basically make it very easy to integrate Money Button into any website or app. Money Button is completely free. So this is an interesting property. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to maintain this forever. There are different ways we can monetize than charging a transaction fee. And we want Money Button to grow. It is in everyone's interest that as many people as possible are using Money Button. And it has the interesting property that Money Button is actually an ad for itself. So this is an important growth property of Money Button. that by making it completely free, extremely easy to install, and branded, it encourages the growth of MoneyButton. So we only launched about 4 weeks ago, but we're going to see whether this theory holds, whether MoneyButton grows naturally because it is actually an ad for itself, and it's completely free. You have nothing to lose by adding this to your website or to your app. So this begs the question, if MoneyButton is completely free, what is our business model? How are we going to earn money from MoneyButton? And we have a simple answer to this, which is that, well, we're obviously going to use MoneyButton to earn money. Just like you would use in your own website or your app, you're going to monetize stuff, and you're going to receive payments with MoneyButton. That is exactly what we're going to do by making our own apps, as well as by integrating the button into the main app. So to give you an example, one of the apps that we are going to create is something called Blurry Image, which is, I joke when I say it this way, but I think when you see the real app, you'll appreciate that it's actually a pretty good idea. Blurry Image is like Instagram, but where all the images are blurry. And the idea is that you can monetize images by charging some small amount of money for it. So that is a demo app that we'll be creating ourselves, and we'll earn money from this. We're going to give 30% of the revenue will actually go to the company rather than to the content creators. Whereas, and then the remaining 70% will go to the content creator. We'll also probably add an affiliate system so that people can earn 10% of the revenue for a given image by sharing it with people who pay for it. So you get the idea that we're going to create a new app that will actually generate revenue for the company with MoneyButton. So if we're able to make our own apps that use money, we don't necessarily, that earn money, we don't necessarily have to charge for MoneyButton itself. The other thing we can do is we can create basically value-added services into the main app. So there are all sorts of things we can do on top of MoneyButton that create additional value for people that you will opt into and that are not free, that you have to pay for those things. Just to give you one idea, subscriptions are a common request. So if we implement a subscription service, that is a type of thing that we could actually charge for. The button itself is free, but if you want to start charging subscriptions to your users, you'll have to pay us for the subscription feature. MoneyButton is fully non-custodial. This is a really important point. The users of MoneyButton hold their own money. You have the keys on your device. Users of MoneyButton send money directly to each other. Our company does not hold any of the money. We don't even see the money. So the way this works is similar to blockchain.info or any client-side web wallet. The master mnemonic is encrypted with a hash of your password that is never seen by our server. So when you log in, your password is actually hashed 2 different ways with HMAC and a seed. And the login password is actually hashed differently than the password used to encrypt your wallet. So we never see your password, and we never see the key that's used to encrypt your wallet. We only see the encrypted form of your wallet. So by doing things this way, this basically lets you log in on multiple devices, and you don't even realize that it's fully client-side, other than the fact that we ask you to write down your mnemonic. But other than that, it feels very, very seamless, and we don't touch your money. Everything is on-chain Bitcoin Cash, and we do not have access to your money, and it is fully on the user's device. So now I want to show a few websites that are integrating MoneyButton, as well as some apps and some plugins and stuff that people have created. So the first one is CoinSpice. CoinSpice is doing basically exactly what I hoped people would do, which is add the money button, first and foremost as a tipping button, to content websites. This is the easiest way to use MoneyButton, and you have nothing to lose by just adding this button to your website and start earning some revenue from people who have, who are users of MoneyButton. So I love to see this from CoinSpice. I think they did it very well. Another website doing something similar is Nakamoto Studies Institute. This is a website created by Derek McGill, which has information about basically the writings of Satoshi Nakamoto. So he's using it there as a tipping button. Misha Pelt has actually done some interesting, innovative things with MoneyButton, like use the multiple outputs. So she will, her daughters actually use MoneyButton to monetize their content. And then Misha herself takes something like I think it's something like 20% of the payments that go to her daughter. So she's able to actually use the multiple outputs thing to very sort of smartly monetize her own content and her daughter's content. Cash Tipper is a WordPress plugin created by Ecliptor. So not only can you integrate MoneyButton into existing websites and stuff, you can actually make your own plugins based on MoneyButton. So Cash Tipper is basically, if you have a WordPress website, you can easily integrate Cash Tipper into your website to add MoneyButton. So Ecliptor actually beat our own company to having a WordPress plugin. If you want a WordPress plugin right now, you can already have it. It's called Cash Tipper. There's another one created by Ecliptor called Shout. This is really cool. This is a way of monetizing your Twitter feed with MoneyButton. So you can let people publish stuff to your Twitter feed by paying you a fee with MoneyButton. So you can use this tool to do that called Shout by Ecliptor. There's actually another one by Ecliptor. This one's called Blurry Images. So this is obviously very similar to the other blurry image idea I gave you earlier. I think Ecliptor took this idea and ran with it, and using his own WordPress plugin, created the ability to unblur an image by paying for it. So I would recommend that you try that out. You can see basically a preview of what our blurry image app will look like right now. This is a really cool one. So Unwriter created an integration of MoneyButton with Memo.cash and BitDB. So Unwriter is the author of BitDB, which is basically a way of indexing the blockchain, and it gives you data about op return and a number of other things. So he was able to integrate MoneyButton into Memo.cash. You use MoneyButton, you use the op return ability of MoneyButton to write stuff to Memo.cash, and then use BitDB to view things. So you should try this app. This is really cool. It's just cool that this is possible to integrate several different apps together because we're all using this common layer, which is the Bitcoin Cash blockchain. And so you can sort of permissionlessly just mix and match apps like this. Here's the tool that Unwriter created to make this possible called DataButton. Emilio, who's an engineer at our company, created a really cool tool called One-Click Paywall. So this is a full app that lets people post content that they hide behind a paywall. So this is tentatively called Markdown Paywall. It doesn't support paywall yet, it doesn't support Markdown yet, but it probably will in the future. And so this is just a really easy way for anybody to start monetizing their content. You can post content to this app right now. Another app created by Emilio is the ability to simply write your own script and publish it to the blockchain using MoneyButton. So you just type in your script in ASM format. This is basically the standard format that is used by most node software. So you can publish any script that way. This is an app created by Dave Foderick, which is basically a way of customizing your MoneyButton. So it's a more advanced customization tool for MoneyButton. So some people asked for the ability to let the users choose the tipping amount before they pay. And this is something we're working on as a company, but Dave went ahead and created this before we did by making a tool to let you do this. And this is particularly cool. Not only is it cool that he made a tool that lets the users pick the tipping amount in a number of different ways, either by typing it in, sliding it, or choosing from a drop-down. But also he's monetizing his own plugin with MoneyButton. So you have to pay with MoneyButton to see the MoneyButton code that you can then copy and paste into your website. So this is a very clever sort of self-referential app here that using MoneyButton for MoneyButton, so that you can paste this onto your website. So this is a really, really cool use of MoneyButton. There's another one that is a Vue plugin. So this is created by somebody named LibaTX, who created a Vue.js plugin for MoneyButton. So that's all the apps that I have to show you guys. So again, we only launched about 4 weeks ago. It's been really cool to watch people rapidly develop fascinating, innovative apps on top of Money Button, some of which we did not even conceive of. So it's been really cool to see this happen. We have a lot of resources available for people to develop apps with Money Button. The easiest thing you can do is simply go to moneybutton.com and configure your Money Button, and that gives you the HTML version of the Money Button. So it's extremely easy to generate the HTML Money Button and then copy and paste into a website. We have documentation at docs.moneybutton.com. We have documentation about all the different components that you can use with Money Button, such as the button itself, the React plugin, and so on. We have a blog that has some useful information on it. We have a subreddit where we are tracking the apps that are built with Money Button. We have a Telegram group where people are basically helping each other build Money Button, and it's the primary place where if you need support, you should go into the Money Button Telegram group and we can help you. It's Money Button Help. Twitter, we have a Twitter page, so we have we regularly post content there about basically news and stuff for a Money Button. We also have a YouTube channel, of course, which is where you are probably watching this video. One final note, Money Button does not play well with privacy plugins and privacy browsers. So if you have issues with Money Button, for right now, you need to just whitelist Money Button. You need to whitelist 3 domains. Be sure to whitelist the HTTPS version of the domains. You need to whitelist www, API, and auth.moneybutton.com. So this will probably fix your issues. If it seems like Money Button is not working for you, please go whitelist these domains. So that's all I have today. So I'll be giving this presentation tomorrow at the Bitcoin Cash Hackathon. Hopefully I'll see some of the people watching this video there, or you can just watch it on the internet or whatever. Yeah, so we'll be having, so the next steps for Money Button are basically, now that we've launched, we are developing our own demo apps. We are also, the next major undertaking for our company is actually to solve something we call the onboarding problem. How do we get normal people to be able to use cryptocurrency? We have to ultimately reduce the difficulty of onboarding to cryptocurrency down to as easily as you can sign up for Instagram and post a photo to Instagram. That's how easy it should be for new users to acquire cryptocurrency and use Money Button. So we have a strategy for how we're going to do this. This is the next major design challenge that we're going to face. So we'll probably be spending a good deal of time and effort and money solving that problem. And other than that, we are just helping people integrate Money Button. We are working with some third parties who are adding Money Button to their websites and to their apps. And we're fixing bugs with Money Button. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for your interest in Money Button. And please join us on Telegram or Twitter or something like that if you have any questions. So thank you very much for watching.